what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back another video and to do the Beast Picks Conference Championship games. And joining me is the Reigning 48 once again to do the final two games before the Super Bowl.
I can't tell you how sad I am that I just cracked that beer. I had this beer saved for the Super Bowl. I really thought it was this year.
Yeah. Well, at least you can't say that I'm the curse anymore. But yeah, that was kind of
I mean, I can still say that.
No, because they lost.
I can still say that.
No. But yeah, Bills they didn't look good. I thought I mean, you know me. I thought the Bills were the best team in the AFC. So I thought the Bills were gonna go to the Super Bowl. I was shocked. I blame more the defense because I think the defense really blew it more than Allen. The time possession, 32 first down or 30. I think it was 32. They said 32 first downs for the Bengals. That you can't do that to win a game, and that's just ridiculous. So
I think if I'm Sean McDermott, I fire every single coach on the staff that's not me.
I would fire the defensive coordinator.
I'd also fire the offensive coordinator.
Really?
I thought he called a horrendous game. I thought he called a terrible game. I think Leslie Frazier called a worse game. I'm sickened by both coordinators. Anybody who decided defensively was a smart choice to play zone coverage against a strong team should be fired on the spot. Anybody who offensively thought, they're a top 10 run defense, maybe we should try to run the ball more, also should be fired on the spot. So
yeah,
cheers to another offseason of misery in Buffalo.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't think this is going to be end for Buffalo. I still think they got a really talented team. They still got ways to go, but I think they're not going to be a team that's going to like go off the cliff like next year. I still think they got enough firepower.
Hey, at least it won't be Aaron Rodgers and the Jets.
Well, no, Aaron Rodgers is staying with Green Bay. I don't care what the media says. The media's been saying this crap for 2 years that he's leaving and all this crap. It's not happening. And just like I said 2 years ago,
who's the Jets' new offensive coordinator?
Oh yeah, you mean the same way they said that last year when he was the Denver Broncos head coach, when the media started running that story too? Yeah, no, I don't buy it. They got to pay. You got to remember something. They got to pick up that $60 million cap to trade for him, and I don't think teams are going to want to do that. And quite frankly, I don't think Green Bay wants to get rid of him. They have a 2-year commitment with that deal they signed with. I don't think they want to get rid of him. That's my take on it, and I truly believe that. I think Aaron will be our quarterback next year, and I stick to that until it happens. But that's my take.
For the Denver Broncos, he is.
What about Denver?
I'm sorry. I hope for the Detroit Lions, he is.
Oh yeah, he definitely wants to get revenge on Detroit Lions if he's with Green Bay, which he will.
No, I'm rooting for Detroit next year.
Oh no, I'm saying Aaron Rodgers wants revenge on the Detroit Lions next year.
And I'm saying I want to see Detroit beat Aaron Rodgers again.
Because we can't let the leader of the hidden village
for next year's fantasy draft. I will show up at a Jamal Williams Detroit Lions draft or jersey if he's still on the team.
Leader of the hidden village. I was laughing at that. That was great.
I like Detroit. Detroit's my NFC team.
No, I'm talking about the Den thing. You seen what he was doing, right? With the headband.
Oh, dude, I love Jamal Williams. I would welcome him to Buffalo. If he came to Buffalo as a backup, I don't think we can afford him. I think he deserves the world. I love Jamal Williams.
Yeah. But anyways, so for the games here.
Well, how about we review last week?
What's up? Want to review it?
How about we review last week? Well, I mean, we got nothing else to do.
Okay. All right. Well, which game you want to talk about? We kind of brought up the Bills already.
I mean, the Chiefs held on to beat the Jags 27-20. I don't know if I'd say either team looked great.
I think Kansas City looked good for what they needed to look good for. I liked I like the game was close and competitive. I thought Kansas City was probably gonna, kind of blow them away early, but they didn't. And of course, a lot of people will say maybe it's because of the injury, but I don't know. I think Jacksonville looked pretty solid for what they were doing, and Kansas City obviously were the better team, and it showed with the experience. But Jacksonville, I think, could be a team to be reckoned in the next couple of years. With the way they're playing, they definitely surprised me, especially since their sloppy play against the Chargers. I thought they did pretty good for what they were handling. So, a good ups on them.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. The Jaguars will be the team that everybody thought the Colts would be when Andrew Luck started.
It's possible.
I think they will. I think, listen, we all know being a rookie quarterback in this league, everybody expects the world of you, but we know it's not an immediate start. And I think Trevor Lawrence has grown leaps and bounds in 2 years. So I think the Jaguars are going to be very well.
Yeah.
We saw the Giants get absolutely destroyed.
Really nothing to say. I mean, the Eagles are back to the way they were before Hurts got injured. And that could be something to note for those 49ers. But yeah, absolutely crushed them.
Yeah, it's so here's the thing. What the Giants just did reminded me of the Bills 3 years ago when they played the Houston Texans in the playoffs.
Yep.
You have a young team, you have a starting head coach. You can't expect everything. I think the Giants had a great year, but it was the end of the Cinderella story.
You think they keep the quarterback?
I hope they do. I truthfully hope they do. I think Daniel Jones has done everything.
I think Jones did enough to prove that he's a guy, and they laughed at him or they booed him in the draft. But I think he had potential, and he still shows it.
Even more so, if you aren't comfortable as the Giants general manager, if you're not comfortable as a Giants owner, franchise tag him. Give him 1 year at the money. You're going to have to spend top-end quarterback money anyhow to keep him. Give him 1 year rent-free. See if he can repeat. Then sign the deal if you want.
Yep.
I think he's closer than Lamar Jackson is.
Oh, yeah, Lamar. That's going to be the thing.
But I also think Philadelphia is one of the best teams in the league. And I've been saying that all year. They were the team that scared me of Buffalo. They're the team I'm honestly rooting for now in the playoffs.
Yeah. And then the Dallas Cowboys and the 49ers. This was a competitive game. I think the thing that's going to stand out for the Cowboys 49ers game is the Cowboys really had a legitimate shot winning this game. And what's going to stand out is those two crucial interceptions they were on the 49ers territory in both those incidents. Dak Prescott threw those interceptions, cost possibly field goals or touchdowns on those drives. And unless you're the Chargers, if you lose the turnover battle, you're probably going to lose the game. And that was the case here. That I felt was the difference in the game. The game was a close game. It was a competitive game for a while, and I think it was winnable for the Cowboys. And I think that's what blew it. And the Niners capitalized with the defense and the running game late really hurt them. And 49ers ended up winning it.
I just want to be able to say that I'm glad I was correct. I said that game was going to not be a running game. And not a single running back went over a 60-yard mark on that game. So yeah. I'm glad that I was correct in that statement.
Yeah. What did you think of stand out from that game? Because that was the closest game of the playoffs last year.
It was the fact that the Niners did such a good job of corralling Dak Prescott. It's the one thing that's going to make the Niners viable versus Philadelphia. You and I talked last week, and I said that was the one thing that was going to make Dallas, San Fran such a good game is who would win the game at passing the ball. Neither of them really won the game. Yeah. Brock Purdy just made a more mistake-free game, which makes me think
that was really the difference.
That also makes me think Brock Purdy has a legitimate shot of being the starting quarterback for the Niners next year.
I think he honestly should already have that chance to be
He very much so reminds you of Tom Brady. He's not going to wow anybody in his first couple of years, but he's going to play very mistake-free football, and that's exactly why they are as far as they are right now. He's been smart.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are comparing Joe Burrow to Tom Brady now after that win. Tom Brady was 3-0 in Super Bowls in his 20s. you can't compare Burrow to Tom Brady when Burrow's already 0-1 in the Super Bowl. And I don't think you can compare a quarterback to Tom Brady.
So
Honestly.
I'm not talking statistical win wise.
Well, yeah,
I'm
that's what everyone
talking,
brings up now.
but I'm talking standard of play because for as much as it hurts Bills fans to discuss it, Tom Brady is one of the most cerebral quarterbacks of the 21st century. He's wonderful. I hate saying it, but he's an incredibly smart quarterback. To be a quarterback in Brock Purdy's spot as a rookie in that game and throw for over 200, give up 0 interceptions. Yes, you didn't throw a touchdown. I understand that. But you didn't throw a pick in one of the biggest games, most stressful positions in the year, and you only allowed 2 sacks against you, I think is leaps and bounds speaking level. Yes, he probably doesn't make it past this week, but that's huge as a rookie.
Yeah. And again, I mean, I believe the difference in that game was the fact that Purdy didn't throw an interception. Dak
Big
Prescott
time,
did.
because like you said, Dak threw not 1 but 2.
Yeah, and those were scoring like they were in the 49ers territory when he threw those. So, possible scoring chances there that were taken away.
All right.
So yeah,
I agree. Yep. Let's get into the last 2 normal games.
Yep. All right. So San Francisco 49ers versus the Philadelphia Eagles NFC Championship game, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fox.
This is the only game I might watch.
Really?
I have no intentions of watching. I'm probably going to avoid all football this weekend. I'm exhausted.
I'm
upset. I'm exhausted. I'm pissed at the Bills coaching staff. I don't want to watch football.
Yeah.
But
it sucks.
The Eagles are a 2.5 point favorite.
I know. I've been there. I've been there.
The problem is, though, this to me is different than the last 2 years. The last 2 years, I felt like my team was given everything they could in the last possible thing. The game this past weekend, I felt like I got stabbed in the heart because my team didn't give shit. And that was the difference. I felt betrayed by that team last week. And I don't know if it's the team or the coaching staff, doesn't matter. I'm sickened, and I don't want to watch football because of it. Regardless, the Eagles are a 2.5 point favorite, and I think that stands for a good reason. I'm going to say the Eagles win by quite a bit.
Oh, really? So, yeah, blowout.
I don't know if I have blowout.
Oh.
But here's the thing. 3 points versus 10, I don't know if I'd call 10 points a blowout. But it wouldn't. No. I'm going to say it's 23-13 Eagles.
All right. So I was tough. I was going back and forth on this game. I'm going to give it to the Eagles. But I'm going to say it's 3 points. I think this game might go to overtime, or it might be Eagles getting the ball back at the end of the game and kicking it at the end of regulation. I think the Eagles will win. I'm going to say 30-27. They'll get a field goal at the end of regulation, or they'll get it in overtime and win in that way. Obviously, the rules are different now because obviously you got to score a touchdown to win it or whatever, which will make it more competitive in itself. But I think they get it done nonetheless, and they win the game. 49ers, if they play mistake-free football, they have a chance to stay right competitive with it, regardless of being in Philadelphia. And I think it will be competitive, but I think the Eagles do just get enough to get it done here.
So the only reason I'm not going with the level you are, and this is a little bit of let's get the clown horn here. Toot toot, or toot your horn here, Frank. Going back into the season, you have to go to the last week of November for the last time the Eagles allowed more than 23 points in the game and won. And that was allowing 33 points to your Green Bay Packers the last week in November. Other than that, the only other time they've allowed that many points was the 40-point loss to Dallas without Dak Prescott.
Yeah, but they still played a good game against the Cowboys, though.
But what I'm saying is, with a fully healthy defense and Jalen Hurts,
yeah,
it's been tough to score that much. I think the NFL would love to see it. I think bettors would love to see it. I think Philadelphia is truthfully here, and the rest of the NFC is here. This year, at least. This year. I'm not saying going forward. This year, Philadelphia is for sure the top echelon.
Yep. Well, hopefully it happens that way. But nonetheless, okay. So the next game, which is the last game, is the
6:30.
6:30 p.m. Cincinnati Bengals at the Kansas City Chiefs. 6:30, like you said, Eastern Standard Time on CBS. Yeah, who's the favorites here?
The Kansas City Chiefs by 1.5 points.
All right. Tough matchup to call here. Kansas City, obviously, the story of the week, or really in the game, really going to Jacksonville, is the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes has reportedly a high ankle sprain that he got in the injury, an MRI confirmed.
He for sure has a high
ankle sprain. But he is playing. He's going to grig it out and play. I don't exactly know how this is going to affect him. When he came back in against Jacksonville,
big time.
Well, when he came in against Jacksonville, he was still able to go out. And he even ran the ball once. There was one point in the game he ran the ball even after he had this injury and got a first down, which is surprising considering that he had a high ankle sprain, as we now know for sure. And he was still able to score. They did get a touchdown without him right before the half with Chad Henning. But Henny.
Henny.
Yeah, but it's going to be tough. I mean, they lost to the Bengals this year, which that doesn't mean anything, by the way. Just because you beat some of the regular season does not mean that you're going to beat them in the playoffs. But they also lost them last year in the championship game, which I think Kansas City could have won that game, especially since they could have kicked the field goal right before the half, which would have won them the game in regulation, because then they would have had to be able to kick the field goal and would have not forced overtime. But I've been so on this whole thing. The Bengals, again, other than this last game against Buffalo,
have been struggling.
The Bengals struggle statistically in playoffs. And again, Buffalo was more of a defensive issue, which controlled the time of possession and kind of drained the game away from the offense having really an opportunity to establish anything. And I think that's going to be the thing. I mean, the key is going to really be to know if Patrick Mahomes can still beat Patrick Mahomes in this game, which, again, his running ability might not be there, but his passing ability is going to still be there. So that's going to be the big issue. I am going to go on a limb here and say that the Kansas City Chiefs get it done. I think it will be a close game, but Kansas City, I think, will win. I'm going to say this will be 27-20. I think it will be a touchdown game. Kansas City just slightly gets it done. They get their revenge for last year, and they go to the Super Bowl, and we got Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. And then after that 2 weeks, we'll see if Patrick Mahomes can be better by that point with the high ankle sprain. But that's what I'm saying. What do you say?
If they win this game, I'm going to say the NFL is rigged.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm serious. I'm sorry.
How? I mean, they were selling tickets for Atlanta, and Buffalo hadn't even won.
Because they have to. That's you. If the Packers were in last weekend as a wild card team, you also would have had an option to buy an away game ticket. They do. The Bengals had an option to buy an away game ticket. That's the way the NFL works. It had nothing to do with
them then.
Yes, that has nothing to do with the team or being rigged.
I don't, like I said, I maintain my thing. I think the referees screw people, but I don't think it's a storyline like a lot of these people online.
I'm saying I think if the Chiefs win it, it's rigged. I think the Bengals are the better team because of the injury to Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes does best as a mobile quarterback. And I'm not saying running the ball. I'm saying getting out of the pocket and making things happen that no man should ever make happen. a hobbled Patrick Mahomes and a bad receiving core. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. I'm taking that offense 10 out of 10 times. A bad KC defense or a decent Bengals defense. I'm taking Kansas City. I don't want to. I'm quite honestly
You
disgusted.
said Kansas City. You're taking Cincinnati, right?
I'm taking Cincinnati. I hate the Bengals right now. I hate Eli Apple. I can't stand that man. He's a scumbag. I have nothing nice to say about him.
What do you got for the score?
I'm going to say they win 31-14.
Oh, wow. You're a blowout here.
Dude, the Chiefs' defense is not good. The Jaguars, they laid an egg. I'm going to say the Bengals take advantage.
We'll see. I think you're discounting Patrick Mahomes. He's a pocket passer still, too.
Yes, but he functions better and is well respected better when you have to fear him getting out. If you can isolate and put QB spies, it's easier to make him have to make mistakes.
All right. Well, those are all the games for this week, guys.
You don't say.
Yeah, it was only 2 games, but anything else you wanted to talk about before we start plugging? Or
yeah, hopefully one of us wins money this year in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, the Super Bowl pools.
I had $9,000 on the line last weekend.
For what? For the Eagles game or
for everything? I had a lot of money. The Eagles got me where I needed, and the Bills choked it all away.
Darn. But yeah, I mean, whatever happens. I mean, it's not my team, so
not mine either.
So whatever, guys.
Man, I'm watching the Super Bowl to win money.
Watching the Super Bowl. See who wins, ladies and gentlemen. All that money. That's all that matters now.
That's it.
Our teams are out of here, so we don't care. So yeah, that's about it. Do you want to plug your sponsor?
Shout out to Kyle at Chicken Dippin'. Hit him up online, chickendippin.com or chicken_dippin'. Use code 716 for 15% off your order. Shout out to Jeanette at the Therapy Sessions Buffalo. She cut my hair. She makes me look decent.
Yep. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Comment, rate, make sure to subscribe. And I don't know what we'll be doing. We'll do the prediction for the Super Bowl like
2 weeks.
Right before or
correct, right before.
Okay. So yeah, we'll do one more because we're not predicting the damn fantasy Pro Bowl. No one cares about that stuff anymore. But yeah, we'll be doing that right before the Super Bowl, and then that will be the end of the season. For pick Beast Picks first year of doing the Beast Picks.
First official year. We've done this once before, and neither of us had actual platforms.
Yeah, we did them just the prediction stuff.
I would sit in my car at ECC North and call you on the phone.
Yeah, oh yeah, those are the time. Remember when we did you remember the Packers and Steelers one where you came back to my mom's house back where I was living with my mom.
No.
Yeah, you don't remember that?
Not at all.
You don't remember you coming over and we did I still have it on YouTube. The Packers and Steelers was right before the Super Bowl.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh wow. Still on YouTube.
Send me that when we get off the air.
It was like back in
2011. It had to have been.
Yeah, it was 2011 because that was my first year on YouTube. 2010 was my first year making videos on YouTube. So yeah, you came over and we because it was the Steelers and Packers. I was still living at the apartment at the time. And we on the jersey. You had the Steelers jersey, I had the Packers jersey on. So yeah.
Frank, a lot has happened in 12 years.
I know it's been a long time.
I probably had this jersey on at the time.
But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this and for when we do the Super Bowl one and I don't know, maybe we'll do some future NFL stuff too in the future. I know you got your NFL stuff. Maybe we could do some talk about free agency or something when it comes up.
I'd be open to doing maybe a monthly. We can make it a monthly
Monthly, yeah,
off-season thing. A
Awesome.
monthly thing.
Yeah, we do some type of free agency because I know you do your draft thing.
We'll do a monthly discussion starting in March.
Yeah, perfect. Absolutely. But nonetheless, guys, make sure to subscribe, follow all this to keep this going because this is the first year. We're definitely going to do this for year 2. Hopefully we'll be doing more live in studio. We were doing that for a while, but we had a lot of things going on, so we had to stick to this format for a while for the later weeks. But we'll definitely continue doing this and keep this going. So yeah. Make sure to subscribe and all that stuff, and also make sure to follow the website as well. And yeah, that's about it. Comp rate and all that good stuff. That's this Ultimate Goku. Rain 48. We're out. Peace.